What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. I feel like I haven't done like one of those like a doom and gloom political update in a while, so it's time. Okay, it's time. I haven't done it in a while. It's time. And I say that because let's keep it real. Every day when it comes to politics is doom and gloom, but that's just where we are, right? Um, and I bring that up because they done got rid of NPR and PBS. How do you defund public broadcasting? Like, come on, like I just it, we knew it was gonna happen, y'all. And I'm bringing that up because regarding that, in addition to the jobs numbers are reported on a monthly basis, and there has been a drastic decline in the job numbers, the numbers of added jobs, which isn't surprising. We knew we were going to be in a recession. Have been affected across the front, particularly as it relates to Black women. We have the highest unemployment rate in the country, and again, I don't know if this is proven. I feel like it's just common sense. Those federal government layoffs, baby, them was Black women, which also tells me that that was a targeted effort. People know what demographics work where, and if you want to cripple the population of people, that's what they did. So all of this came out, and then your boy decided he didn't like the report. He said, I don't like the report. So the person who reported it, fired out. They're gonna put some goof up in there who now can report the numbers that they like. Which my point of all of this is in saying we are here. We have arrived. I feel like, and not the Black News listeners, because I know we not all on the same page about everything, but in the back of my mind, I like to believe that all of us are on the same page about everything. Again, I'm not delusional. I know that's not the case, but it makes me feel good. Okay. So we know that we've arrived, but I feel like other people are waiting for some like sonic boom to happen that alerts Americans that we are in a fascist regime, or that authority we are in a in that type of government. I feel like people waiting on something big when all of these pieces are adding up and pointing to that. So for the sake of reminding people, let me read off fascism one more time. Okay. Fascism is a far right authoritarian ultra nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. It prioritized the nation or race above the individual, often promoting militarism and aggressive nationalism. Okay? Hey, when you shut down public media, when you make backhanded or backdoor deals with networks to get your naysayers fired from the media, i.e. Stephen Colbert, when you attack on social media journalists and anyone who speak out against you, when you find ways to fine and punish anybody who does not agree, and when you have all of the branches of government, including the Supreme Court, doing your bidding and basically allowing you to do whatever you want, we are here. Ain't no more something huge gonna happen and it's gonna hit. No, y'all, Germany. Okay, Germany. What I also want to keep reminding us, and y'all know y'all be spreading the word. I know y'all be spreading the word. People who were people who supported that German mustache man, when all it was all said and done, they didn't have no come to Jesus. Oh, we were wrong all along. Oh no. Some of them were just fine with everything that German mustache man did. When the troops pulled up to them concentration camps and opened up the gates and saw what was going on and what happened and started reporting back, them people who supported the German mustache man were like, oh well, and kept it pushing. They did not care. What? No. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Some may be sure, but I need us to not live in this delusion, this land of delusion when it comes to that, because we need to not expect that from people here. When are they going to see the light? When are they going to know that he's bad? They're not. Move on. Them mustache supporters, the mustache man supporters, guess what? And I say this all the time. I know I probably even said this last week, but I got to keep saying it. When it was all said and done, they skirted their ass over here, Argentina and other places, and just kept on. Ivan the Terrible. Y'all know Ivan the Terrible was working at a damn plant in like Ohio until they scooped his ass up and took him back to Germany and tried him for his crimes. I'm just saying, we are here. I'm also bringing that up because our supposed to be president, Kamala Harris, because y'all know I talked about this. They run in numbers, and think tanks and organizations have pulled the data, and the data is data, and it is looking like it was some fishy going on with these elections. I know it sounds crazy, like kooky conspiracy theory, but y'all, is looking fishy. She was on Stephen Colbert, which was fitting because, you got her, and then you got the canceled show host coming together and having a conversation. She was there to promote her new book that's coming out called 107 Days. It accounts her telling of what happened during her historic campaign run, because it was 107 days from the time that she officially got the nomination to election day. Some people were upset about her appearance for many reasons. Some people were saddened because, it's what could have been. Some people were happy to see her out and talking. Some people were upset because they feel like she's not doing enough. There seems to be this, and I'm noticing this. It's especially geared towards Black people, because ain't nobody calling on George Bush, Al Gore, John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, none of them to do anything. There seems to be this constant conversation or demand from specifically Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Kamala Harris, trying to call them out about what they're doing right now. Where's Barack Obama? Where's Kamala Harris? Where's Michelle Obama? They got podcasts and they just doing stuff. Why aren't they helping us? Why aren't they on the front lines? Why aren't they saying anything? Where are they? They're not doing enough. What is happening? I'm so disappointed. I'm so upset. Where is Barack, Michelle, and Kamala? They ain't never asking, where is George Bush? He a part of the party. Where is George? Where is Bill Clinton and that saxophone? Where he at? Where's Hillary Clinton? Where's John Kerry? Where is Al Gore? The demanding Kamala Harris to come out. If we gonna call all of the unelected VPs, John Kerry and Al Gore sitting right there. Why are there no demands for them? But we know why. There seems to be this idea that Black people owe others their labor. They have to put their life on the line. And it could be many reasons. It can go back to slavery. It can go back to people thinking we're civil rights punching bags. They think we, those little bullet, the things you test at the gun range, the little, the little papers you put up and be shooting at. They think we're all of those things. So they demand that. So they're mad at Kamala because of that. Why she ain't doing nothing? I'm so disappointed. There was also, though, a clip that was going viral when Stephen asked her about not running for California state governor, because somewhere along the way, people threw her name in the hat and said California state governor is coming up the race. It has to be Kamala Harris, which I know California is like the third largest economy in the world. Like, our economy is huge, and being the governor of the state, it's a huge deal. Baby, why would she go from being the vice president back down to the governor? It's giving demotion. I'm sorry. Maybe it was just me. I'm sorry. I don't know where they got that from. But she came out and made a statement and said after she thought about it, she's not going to run for governor. Great. As a California resident and as someone who supports Kamala Harris, after what she been through, and if they in fact did do something with that election, if I were her, I wouldn't do shit. If you know you gave your all, you and you found out and learned you can't out campaign criminal activity, there's nothing left for her to do. You can't out campaign criminal thievery. Like I just, But I'm gonna read her statement, the first one. Then I'm gonna play the clip. She said, over the past 6 months, I've spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people and advancing the values and ideals I hold dear. I'm a devout public servant, and from the earliest days of my career, I believed that the best way I could make a difference in people's lives and fight for a better future was to improve the system from within. And it has been a profound honor to do that work and serve the people of California and our nation as a prosecutor, attorney general, United States senator, and vice president. In recent months, I have given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state, its people, and its promise. It is my home. But after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election. I have extraordinary admiration and respect for those who dedicate their lives to public service, service to their communities, and to our nation. At the same time, we must recognize that our politics, our government, and our institutions have too often failed the American people, culminating in this moment of crisis. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through new methods and fresh thinking, committed to our same values and principles, but not bound by the same playbook. For now, my leadership in public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly, and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans. In the United States of America, power must lie with the people, and we, the people, must use our power to fight for freedom, opportunity, fairness, and the dignity of all. I will remain in that fight, Kamala Harris. Let me say this again. Because I know if we down here and amongst us are having these conversations about what happened during the election, we heard Elon and them talking and dropping clues. It sounded like something they did something. We the record number of donations received. Down ballot candidates in swing states all went blue except the top, which shows in a decrease in numbers, which shows something was happening because you telling me that down ballot voted one way, and hundreds of thousands of other people decided not to vote for the presidential candidate after they just voted down ballot. You know, if we seeing this, she has access to all of this information and more. I'm willing to bet she been getting contacted up the ass with stats, numbers, data, theories, you name it. So she probably knows more than we do, whether she believes it or not. But imagine you gave your all. They had Auntie ripping around and she was doing 6 stops in a day, multi-state. She was on that jet, Air Force Two. Ripping and running, had 10 walls, jumping around, carrying on, doing all of this. Had Hope Walls and them all out on the tour. Gus and them. Had Doug at the events, you name it. The aunt, the nieces. She had the baby nieces all over the place. And come to find out you did all of this. And there's a possibility that you might have really won. That's the first Black woman president of the United States, and it was stolen. Imagine that. And again, this allegedly, I'm just setting up the stage and I'm painting a picture. Imagine you did all of that and you won, but it was stolen. I ain't doing shit. If that were happening and I found out, don't ask me if I'm running for governor. Don't ask me what I'm doing, because what I did do, I put my life on the line and I did all of this shit and it was stolen. Don't ask me for nothing. Get somebody else to do it. Now, based on what we've seen about her personality, I doubt that she's saying it like that. But if it were you and you won the highest office in the land, allegedly, something that everybody told you that you couldn't do. The country ain't ready. Ain't nobody ready. You'll never be him. You a woman, you black woman, all this, your lab, all of this shit. You went to HBCU, you'll never do it. And you did it, or you have evidence that show that you probably did do it and it was stolen. Don't ask me to enter no other race because they stealing. They stealing, baby. They stealing. Now again, I'm just painting that picture, and I know that's a dramatic reading of what could have happened. But hey, what if it did? I ain't running for shit. Like, don't call me. Don't call me. But let me play the clip. Let me play the clip of what she said, and then we'll discuss.
You're not running for the governor of California.
Correct.
Even though in early polling you beat every other candidate by double digits, you said you're going to sit this one out. Why are you sitting this out? Are you saving yourself for a different office that might be?
No.
That's what everybody obviously. But honestly, obviously, people project onto their hopes and dreams.
And honestly, that it's more perhaps basic than that. Listen, I am a devout public servant. I have spent my entire career in service of the people. And I thought a lot about running for governor. I love my state. I love California. I've served as just elected district attorney, attorney general, and senator. But to be very candid with you, when I was a young in my career, I had to defend my decision to become a prosecutor with my family. And one of the points that I made is, why is it then when we think we want to improve a system or change it, that we're always on the outside on bended knee or trying to break down the door? Shouldn't we also be inside the system? And that has been my career. And recently I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken. I think there's so much, there's so many good people who are public servants, who do such good work, teachers and firefighters and police officers and nurses and scientists. And so it's not about them, but, I believe, and I always believed, that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be. And I just don't want to, for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people. And I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote.
Well, I gotta say, I want to talk about the book, but just to go back to what you just said, is that I have to say, as someone who is very qualified for the presidency, a senator, attorney general of California, a vice president of the United States, and then a very hopeful and dynamic presidential candidate for the 107 days that you had to run, to hear you say that it's broken, to hear you say that our systems aren't strong enough, is harrowing.
Well, but it's also evident, isn't it?
No, it is.
And it is.
It is harrowing. There's almost no curse word bad enough.
But it doesn't mean we give up. That's not my point.
Okay, because that's what I'm hearing. Like, you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I am always going to be part of the fight.
Okay,
that is not going to change. I am absolutely going to be part of the fight.
Yeah.
And if she ain't want to be part of the fight, so what? Y'all ain't about to be running people through the ground, black people through the ground, and expecting them to just keep it moving. Because again, and I like Stephen Colbert, but Stephen, why you gonna ask George Bush, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, fucking John Kerry the same thing? I don't want to hear it. So I just want to play that because I think, and I'm reading between the lines, I may have just be assuming. If you look deeper or think deeper into what she's trying to say when she said it's broken, There ain't no more evidence than is broken in what's happening now and the possibility that something you won was stolen. I keep going back to it, y'all. But let me know what y'all think. Okay? Let me know your thoughts about it. You know where to find me. I'm at Cornelia on social media. I think I need to wrap up the Shannon Sharpe situation. It has, well, I don't say it's coming to an end because there's some more lawsuits that came out. But the big one that came out where the unnamed woman, and I believe her name was released at some point. I'm not going to read it because I don't even feel like that's necessary. Sued Shannon Sharpe for upwards of, I believe, $50 million, claiming that he essayed her multiple times during their, in air quotes per the article I'm reading, rocky consensual relationship which lasted over 2 years. Remember when the lawsuit first came out, he said it was a shakedown. He said, he denied it. He totally disagreed. He was going to follow up in court. Tony Busby was representing the victim. So, and this was on the heels of everything happening around Tony Busby. But while that was happening, Shannon Sharpe took an leave of absence from ESPN. He was doing one of the sports shows there, but he continued to do his podcast, Club Shay Shay. Well, the lawsuit has been settled for an undisclosed amount. I'm not seeing the actual amount, but I did see reports that the young woman made a statement and said that she will be retiring from OnlyFans because she was an OnlyFans model, a young woman. And, thanks for everybody's support. So Shannon been getting towed up all over social media. Now, before I do that, because people seem to be fixated on the OnlyFans part and all this other stuff, and people were talking about her ethnicity, her race ethnicity. I think she's a white woman. I'm not sure. Young. People, were talking about he was retiring, a white girl, all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. I just want to remind people, and again, allegedly, because I don't know what's true. We didn't get the details of the settlement, none of that. He was accused of us essaying someone. So this is a serious case. It's serious. But he ended up settling. And again, fired by ESPN. So the brother is down bad. Now, a lot of people are taking this and using this as an opportunity to say who he should be dating, right? He should be dating what he need to be getting a black woman. He need to be dating an older woman, all this other stuff. Why is it when somebody is doing bad that they feel like that's the opportunity to throw them back onto black women? If somebody is accused of wrongdoing towards anyone of any demographic, the last thing black women need is for them to come on back. Keep going. Don't come over here with that. No, no, no. You don't need to go back to black women. No, you don't. Mind your business. Seek help. Do not do. I hate when people do that. I hate when people use that as an opportunity to put them or to come on back. No, we don't need abuse. Sorry to break it to you. We don't need that. But people are also pointing to the multiple interviews on his podcast, Club Shay Shay, where people came on there and tried to talk him out of some of his dating practice and preferences. Monique tried, Cat Williams tried, even Lil Yachty tried. Y'all, did Kurt Franklin even say something? I feel like everybody's been having these same conversations, but it sounded like he wasn't hearing it. But I will say, and maybe this is a lesson for all of us, or just a reminder, adults gonna do what they want to do. People learn their lessons on their own time. For some, no matter how many times you tell it, no matter who the messenger is, no matter how the message is delivered, it doesn't matter. Some people gonna keep doing what they gonna do, especially if people have been able to do what they want for some time. And also, and I'm not trying to stereotype or loop a demographic in with each other and make assumptions, but a lot of times people who have access to a lot of money and celebrity, they really don't believe in checks and balances or want to listen to what you got to say. They just don't want to listen. So I just wanted to bring that up because if something else happened to somebody, stop being like, you need to come on back to black women. No, you don't. You going back to black men? No, you don't. Let them go where they're gonna go. Okay? Good riddance. But let me know what y'all think about it. Okay? Let me know. You can find me at Canelia on social media. And lastly, I just want to send some love to Deion Sanders' child. Mr. Deion had bladder cancer. Didn't tell nobody. Y'all send some prayers to Deion, man. Prime time. He made an announcement that he had, and I'm in the past tense, bladder cancer, took the steps to get the cancer removed. Didn't even tell most of his children what was going on. But seems to be in good spirits and is going to keep on coaching and keep on keeping on, baby. He had bladder cancer. Now, I haven't heard many people with bladder cancer. Not to say that it's rare because I'm not sure. But when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. We usually, especially as Black Americans, we hear a lot about breast cancer, ovarian cancer. He's not a man, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Black people. And we hear colon cancer. So colon, breast, ovarian, lung cancer, brain cancer, you name it. But I feel like this was like one of my first times hearing about bladder cancer. And in his case, they built him a new bladder from his intestines, which is crazy. Y'all talk about science. Because when I first heard it, I was like, do this man have no bladder forever? What is he going to do? But they were able to rebuild it instead of doing multiple rounds of chemo, because they were saying he was gonna have to do what 30 some rounds, like a lot of rounds. He decided, you know what, let's just take the bladder, get it out, and figure it out after the fact. So he's moving forward. And this coming on the heels of maybe a couple years ago. Remember they had to amputate some of his toes? Baby, he ain't got no toes. Like, this man has been going through it. I swear. And all the while, his kids are still thriving. Well, they doing their best. It seems like outside forces trying to take him down. Now, poor Shador been going through it in Cleveland with the Browns. Y'all know I don't be watching the NFL. Y'all know I'm really watching the NFL. But I have been keeping my eye on the Shador news because I want to see what they doing with that young man. And it sounds like they playing games. So he been going through it. Shiloh been down in Florida sweating bullets in the heat with his full pads and outfits on. His daughters and his other son out here still doing what they doing. So again, prayers up to Deion Sanders and that he experiences a full recovery, because I don't think anybody would be prepared if something were to happen to Deion Sanders. He is such a staple in Black culture, not just from the sports aspect, but sports and entertainment. Because when we talk about them flashy football players and athletes, jewelry and making music and just having like that on that swag, Deion is probably the guy who really ushered that in at that high level. Multi-sport athlete. That brother was playing baseball and football at the same time. Who else was doing that? Bo Jackson? Who else? Russell Wilson, I think he was doing it at first, but that's it. Hey, baby, who else? Hey, baby, who else? But yeah, shout out to Deion and prayers up for him. Yeah, let me know. And also, is bladder cancer like prevalent in the Black community? I don't know. I just haven't heard of it really. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts about all of it. You can find me at Canelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we had a quick politics update, which involves discussion about NPR and PBS being defunded, as well as Vice President Kamala Harris going on Colbert and announcing that she's no longer interested in running for governor of California. We also gave a quick update about Shannon Sharpe and what happened with the lawsuit that was filed against him. And lastly, sent up quick prayers and well wishes towards Deion Sanders, who was suffering from bladder cancer. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.